I'm happy to have the opportunity to speak on this motion here this evening. I absolutely accept the need to support our maternity services and our staff who perform heroic work against all the odds. And could I say about Sir Tipperary General, or known to most of us as St Joseph's in Clonmel, where all my kids were born. And indeed, 6 grandkids have now been born safely recently, and tremendous staff. Tremendous dedicated staff, the whole lot of them in the maternity ward and indeed in the Scuba ward, and indeed when we have to go to CUH in Cork, my daughter had to go and was cared for exceptionally well also, and I salute them under enormous pressure most of the time. What I do not accept is the credibility of Fianna Fáil on this issue. We have seen this recently in terms of the tragic case of the baby who was misdiagnosed and died at Holles Street Hospital. Deputy Donnelly here on my right came out and said, we must investigate and see if there are existing dangers in the service. But he already knew. Indeed, as I understand it, Dr. Peter Violin, at a meeting...
I would ask you to desist from naming names.
He was before the committee, so he kept testimony to the committee.
Hold on. May well have been. This is the House.
Okay. At a meeting of the Joint Committee on Health on Wednesday, 19 September 2018, explicitly told Deputy Donnelly that the lack of MRI scanning services could lead to the termination of a child who may not actually have had a fatal condition. Could lead. That was the words he told to any of us in the committee that wanted to hear. His exact words in response to a question from Deputy Donnelly were the following, and I quote, "The MRI machine in the National Maternity Hospital, with some jiggling around, could possibly be a national centre for referral to clarify the diagnosis for women and pregnancies where there are fetal abnormalities. The consequences of getting it wrong are serious. We could end up with a termination done for a condition that is not fatal, or indeed vice versa. As has been said by other commentators, this makes it absolutely clear that there were warnings that the rollout of abortion services in this stage to accord with a political rather than a clinical deadline was capable of ending the lives of unborn children deemed to have a fatal condition but who did not actually have such a condition. That was the clamour, that was the rush, political, not medical. This so-called service has placed additional and severe pressure on our maternity services at a time when the master of the rotunda says that premature babies do not even have access to appropriate levels of care in our maternity units. So it's fine to be crying wolf now, but the warnings were given to any of us on the Health Committee that lived. We all felt that evidence given, what the man that was leading the whole campaign and was given the medical advice and was saluted afterwards for doing it, gave us those warnings. It's on the record of the House. So it's hypocrisy in the highest order to come in here now when we have had, unfortunately, a tragic death of a baby over this, and maybe many, many more.